up, guys? As promised, I am reviewing the Clear Blue Digital OPK test. If you are interested in what I have to say about it, keep watching. So the box looks like this, the Clear Blue test. It comes with 20 tests and it gives you 3 stages. So it will give you it will tell you when you're not fertile. It will tell you when you're highly fertile, which when the smiley face kind of blinks. And then the solid smiley is when you are, that's your LH surge detection. So that's when you know that you're gonna be ovulating in the next 24 to 36 hours. My initial thoughts of this was, wow, it's expensive. It was $39.99. But I said, well, there's 20 tests in here. Excuse me, there's a lot of tests. So I was like, I mean, it's still not worth the money because you're literally like gonna throw it in the trash. But I was like, okay, well, I get 20 tests. Let me just try it. It's digital. And the strips that I was using, I was just frustrated with, and I like that it gave you the high fertility days, which was different than the other tests that I was using. So I was really excited about using this. I should have done more research when before I purchased this, because this test, it's ideal for people who have somewhat of a regular cycle, and you have to start testing really early, like a couple of days after your period. You have to start like testing this. So the reason for that is the tester that it comes with, it needs some time to learn the level of your hormone. So when it detects some kind of a spike, it will tell you. So that's what I found out from the research that I did after I purchased this. So how I used it, it was kind of like mid-cycle. I had ran out of the other tests that I was using, and I went to the store and I saw this. I was like, oh, there's 20 tests. Let me just get this. And the first day I tested, it gave me not fertile. The second day I tested, it gave me a flashing smiley, which is the highly fertile. And then after that, it went back to not fertile or low fertility. So I was kind of confused about that. But then I kept testing. I kept testing and testing, and it came to a point where, you know, I had like 1 test left, and that day I got a highly fertile flashing smiley, and I was just like, I ran out of tests, and I was like, I don't know if it's gonna be like, it's gonna mess up, because you're supposed to get this when you first start your cycle. And I was just like, I was kind of nervous as to like, is it gonna work when I get a new box and start over? Is it gonna know my hormone levels? And I know that I can't use the new test with this tester, like the strips with this tester. So I was kind of like, not freaking out, but I was kind of concerned. But what I did, I went ahead and purchased another one, and the first day I tested with the new one, it gave me a not fertile, which I had the day before. I had highly fertile, so it was kind of like, oh, this isn't gonna work. So I went ahead and got another like cheap tester too, just to test with that one, so I have 2 tests instead of just relying on one. But then the next day, it gave me highly fertile, and it gave me highly fertile for about 10 days before I got my solid smiley. So for 10 days, I was getting flashing smiley. When I was doing the research and kind of reading comments online, I realized that a lot of women were getting like 5+ days of high fertility days of the flashing smiley before they got their solid smiley. And in the box, it will tell you, like, you have to read the instructions. It will tell you that they kind of like did a study or whatever, and like 60% of the women had flashing smiley for more than between 4 and 6 days, and then they give you the percentage of like each like 4 to 6 days is like 60%, 6 to 9 days is like another percent, and then 10 plus days is like another percentage of the study, women that tested this. So that high fertility step that they added, the flashing smiley, is a bit confusing, honestly. If you get like 10 days of like flashing smiley, that's not accurate, basically, because you're not going to be highly fertile for 10 days before you get your solid smiley, which is your LH surge. We know that it's 2-3 days before that. So the high fertility window is big, long, and it could be misleading. So as long as you know that when you purchase this, and you know that you might have like when you first start getting like a high fertility, the flashing smiley, just keep in mind that that might not be true. And the goal is to get the solid smiley. So overall, the test is really easy to use. They give you 20 tests, which is a good number, and it's digital, so there's no question about if it's a positive or a negative. Like, it's very clear if it's a positive or a negative because it will show you. However, the flashing smiley, which is the high fertility stage, is a bit confusing and misleading. So as long as you keep in mind that you might have a high fertility window that is 4 to 10 plus days, and that it might not be accurate, just if you keep that in mind, I think you'll be okay. And you have to start testing really early. That's why they give you 20 tests, because they want you to start testing really early into your cycle. Like I said, if you are interested in buying this, I think it's a good test. But if you don't really care about knowing when your high fertility window is, like, I would say there's other ones on the market that are just as good, or even better, so they're not as confusing with the high fertility window. So I would purchase it. I would purchase it again and test with it, just because it was really easy to use, and I really liked it being digital, basically. So these are my thoughts about the Clear Blue Digital OPK test. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.